No.
Hello everyone, my name is Sarafi. I am the Speedroid Guru and I'm happy to meet you all. And joining me today is two more members from the Guild of Gurus Discord server. We have Kevin, probably the Cyber Dragon Guru.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy, the co-owner of the guilds, and I'm happy to be here with y'all today.
Kevin, most famous for producing 3 seasons of a Transformers stop motion that he never finished. And then we also have the hero guru, Mr. Sharp himself.
Are you just not gonna let me to address that? Yo, that's disrespect. Yo, I'm out of this podcast.
Oh, I didn't want to say anything. But it was the one, the only hero guru, Mr. Sharp. Glad to be here. I'm looking forward to it. Very excited.
Glad to have you both with me. Okay,
The one that can't
Kevin,
beat Cyber
you can
Dragon.
go ahead and respond now.
No, that's crazy because, listen, you're right, but I don't want to admit it. So here's what's been going on. The series is mapped out. We know what we want to do, but timing is such a pain right now. I'm working overnights at Target almost every day.
Mm-hmm.
I have school, and my best friend who I'm working on it with is also working, but he's working through the daytime, which is when I'm sleeping, and our nights just don't align.
Gotcha. Yeah, I know that's rough, man, but I totally get it. All right. Well, we got a lot to talk about today. There have been so many things happening lately in Yu-Gi-Oh! And in the world. We're just kind of like chilling, having fun. The three. I think you said it was going to be the God podcast because it's the three Egyptian gods because we're the admins. Sure. We are missing, sadly, Notorious Cly. Notorious Cly not present at the moment, but hopefully he can join us for the next one. Regardless. So we have, for the Guild of Gurus, obviously, Kevin, probably the founder, the original Guild of Gurus member, our fearless leader. Welcome, of course. Then Mr. Sharp, longtime member, guru, recently became the co-owner. Congratulations. And myself, the head guru. All right. So let's get started. First up, we have the Rush Cyber Dragon structure deck that was added to Duel Links. Kevin, have you bought this structure deck yet?
I've bought 3 copies and I've been grinding on ladder, but so right now I'm stuck in gold, which is the highest right before COG, and it can't compete against actual good decks.
It can't compete against actual good decks. Hold on, I need to pull this up.
Right.
Let me see. So I didn't actually review this when it came out. Let me see if I can find it.
It could 100% also be the fact that I haven't bought any of the bundles, so I don't have Widespread Ruin, Negate Attack, Buffered Slime, because I know that they are going to release fusions, so I'm waiting to use those bundles on those boxes.
I mean,
so it could be that as well.
I mean, Trap Hole is coming, but I feel like Widespread Ruin is probably going to be like the best card for a very long time.
Yeah, that and Negate Attack for sure.
Hold on, Cyber Dragon. Let me see if I can find this. Cyber Dragon Launch. Here we go. All right, so Cyber Dragon Launch is a structure deck. We got 1 copy for free. With 3 copies, you get 3 copies of Cyber Dragon, 3 copies of Grand Cerberus, 3 copies of Cyber Entry, and 3 copies of Proto Cyber Dragon. Really cool. So let's see. What are your thoughts on Cyber Dragon as a monster in Rush Duels?
So yeah, I'm sorry, my Discord was bugging, but right now it's not the best monster. It's a level 5, 2100 beater. It's a free body on the board, but with how Rush Duel works, you definitely need the fusions and or like Cyber Assault Dragon, the other Cyber Dragon support cards to actually make the most out of it. Right now it's just low mid.
Someone got second place in a cup on the 19th with it.
What build were they using? Was it just like Machine Turbo?
Nah, 3 copies of Grand Cerberus, 3 copies of Cyber Dragon, 1 copy of Proto using the Cybernetic Combat Customization skill. They do have a Negate Attack and Tribute to the Gym, though. What is Buffered Slime? I've never seen this card. Send the top card of your deck to the graveyard. You take no battle damage this whole turn. That's really funny. Okay. All right,
Dang.
cool.
But then you take 2,000.
I mean, only if your life points are 3,000 or more.
Yeah, you're right.
All right. Fun, good. I'm glad that you're having fun with it. Hopefully, Overflow comes off the ban list with this KC Cup. We'll see. Because it was a crime how they finally addressed Cyber Dragons in the last ban list by taking Overflow from 2 to 1. That was stupid.
And they took away Pleiades.
Yeah. All right, but here we go. Okay. So now we turn to the hero guru himself, Mr. Sharp. Mr. Sharp, you had mentioned previously in the last podcast that we had with each other that you were looking forward to heroes being added to Rush, and guess what happened?
Yeah. They were added, baby. They were added.
It is insane. The Rush hero cards look so good.
Yes, they do.
Elemental Hero Burst Wingman, 2100, 1200. Send the top card of your deck to the graveyard. One face-up warrior on your field gains 1,000 attack points until the end of your opponent's next turn. Then you can destroy one spell or trap on your opponent's field. I don't know what this is in reference to. Is this supposed to be Wild Wingman?
Kind of like Wild Wingman. That's the side of Avian that they're using, because Flame Wingman was the burn damage, so that's Burstinatrix. But then the spell and trap removal is Avian, which in the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Or when GX first came out, he has a spell and trap counter trap called Featherwind, which negates and destroys an activated spell and trap.
And have you seen Bubble Man? Bubble Man is so much better in Rush than he ever has been.
Yeah, tell me about it.
all right. So Kevin, you probably haven't seen this. So in Speed Duels, Bubble Man is if you have no other cards, you can special summon this card from your hand, and then if he's special summoned and you have no cards in your hand, you get to draw 2. So literally, he's like only good if you top deck him while you're empty. But in Rush, it's you have no other cards in your hand or on your field during your main phase that you normal summon or special summon this card, then draw 2 cards. So you can trigger it at any point during your turn to just draw 2, and it triggers off of a normal summon. That's
just so much
crazy
better.
good. Yes, it is.
Way better.
Oh my gosh. And then
But why couldn't they do something like that to Proto Cyber Dragon, man?
I mean,
'Cause heroes are
Cyber
better.
Dragons are better than heroes.
That's what I'm saying.
All right.
It's my man right there.
All right, Skyscraper is huge. Skyscraper is so dumb. So in the original game, Skyscraper is if a hero monster attacks a monster that has more attack points than it, it gains 1,000 attack points during the damage step only. And this card it's a field spell. While this card is face up on the zone, face up Elemental Hero Avian, Burstinatrix, Clayman, Sparkman, Bubbleman, and Neos, along with level 5 to level 8 warrior type fusion monsters on the turn player's field gain 1,000 attack points. That is so funny. That is amazing. Because you can get the benefit if you attack directly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wish they would do something like that in the TCG. That'd be pretty awesome.
It would.
But we shall see. We shall see.
I love that this
We
makes
got-
Bubble Man or Mudball Man actually good. Like Mudball Man is a 2,900, 3,000 is not bad at all.
Yeah, he's cool. He's cool. So what I did like was like this competitive deck list that I found, and one of the things that really helps the deck with consistency, they have that spell card Elemental Circulation.
Elemental Circulation. Looking it up right now.
That thing is fire, and you can run 3 copies, man. It's crazy.
Elemental Circulation. Reveal 1 level 6 or 7 warrior fusion monster in your extra deck to your opponent. Send 1 warrior monster whose name is mentioned as a material on it from your hand to the graveyard. Draw 3 cards, then send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard. If you do, you can activate the effects of monsters until the end of this turn except warriors. That is literally graceful charity. That is so dumb.
Yes. And you run 3 copies of it. Man, the consistency on the Rush Duel Heroes deck pretty insane.
And you can also play Graceful Charity.
Yeah.
You
So
want to know what I'm hearing? You want to know what I'm hearing?
What?
All that support, and they still can't beat Sidras.
We'll have to see.
Mercy,
Sidras
you
are
think-
really good, but Heroes could do something.
Come on, man.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man. Get a deck list on EDO Pro, and we shall settle this.
You know what? I'm going to ignore you for a second and direct this at Serafi. So, Serafi, I do have a question for you. Now, we did get a few new Speedroid cards, I believe, a few weeks back. And I'm hearing mixed results, mixed feelings on the cards. What do you think?
All right, yeah, I'm more than happy to talk about that. So, Speedroids, are the new Speedroid cards not here? Where's my? Oh, Clearwing is like not a Speedroid card. Okay, yeah, the new Speedroid cards are very interesting. I hate Pendulum, so I'm very annoyed that they made new Pendulum cards. But then the worst part is they made new Pendulum cards that you need to banish a monster from your graveyard to use. So you're not even supposed to Pendulum summon with them. It's just like essentially a hand trap that isn't a monster effect, so it can't be negated by monster effect negates, which is cute, I guess, but it's really annoying. Okay, so yeah, we got 5 new cards. Clackernell is the main body, and it's a scale 8 that lets you immediately scale up from your deck by banishing a card from your graveyard, and then when this card is destroyed, you get to special summon another copy of it from your deck as a tuner monster. That's really interesting. It does encourage you to play 3 copies of it, and that's good because you want to draw it. Having an extra level 2 body on the board is odd. 2 is not a level that Speedroids have ever used tuners with. We have level 4 and level 3 tuners, so it actually makes the breakpoints for the deck a little bit weird. I don't think anyone has really optimized what you can use the Clackernell body for yet, but I have been able to make 2 Omnis in a single turn with it. The other Pendulum monster is Speedroid Wings Synchron, and of course that means it's a Synchron card, so you can special summon it off of Junk Speeder, which is amazing. Level 5 Tuner monster, but it's a Pen 4, and you can destroy both it and Clackernell to get a free Clearwing Synchro Dragon from your extra deck, which is pretty solid. Then you just make the new High Speedroid Glider 2, which is a level 5 Synchro Tuner that we've never had before. We never had a level 5 Synchro Tuner. And it just revives your Clearwing so that you can immediately Synchro into the new Omni Negate card. And yeah, the new Omni Negate card is an Omni Negate. It's a soft once, and you have a trap card that you can send to the graveyard to banish it to refresh the Omni. That's very much in line with Speedroids. Speedroids have always had soft negates. And now we have a card that kind of emphasizes the soft negate. Everything is in theme, which I like, except for the pendulum crap. But other than that, everything feels like Speedroids, which is great. And they even the disruption that we have an Omni Negate. We have a card that encourages you to make specifically Crystal Clearwing Synchro Dragon, which is kind of like our replacement for Barone at this point, which I guess is fine. And then lastly, the tuner monster has an effect where if your opponent special summons a monster, you can banish it from the graveyard to raise all their levels by 5. So that does 2 things. It makes it so that every monster your opponent controls is at least level 5 so that they can be negated by Clearwing Synchro Dragon, and then it also messes with their levels for things like Synchro Summoning and Xyz Summoning, which is something Speedroids have always been able to do thanks to High Speedroid Hagoida. So everything feels like an expansion of existing Speedroid ideas while still being very good. But we still can't out Nibiru. So
skill issue.
I think that it's going to make Speedroids a much better deck. But I don't think Speedroids will be over rogue with these changes.
Okay, yeah. So what I was really thinking is like Speedroids. I think we can both agree on this. They haven't really been the best in have they seen competitive play? I'm not too familiar with Speedroids when they first released.
Speedroids did not see competitive play as a deck by themselves. They recently started seeing play as an engine in Kashtira to essentially give Kashtira an easy way to get into Barone. And then they banned Barone. And Kashtira has not been that strong for a while. Snake Eyes is basically like taking over everything. So as far as Speedroids are concerned, they just haven't been that big of a threat for a very long time.
Gotcha. So what I'm seeing from like Konami is basically that they really want to, because when we look at Black Wings, they got new support and they focus more on like the burn aspect, especially with the big new Assault Dragon. And then we look at Red Dragon Archfiend. They got a lot of disruption. They can banish the whole board with their back row. They got the Supernova Dragon. They got support that can benefit that. And now we're looking at Speedroid, for example, and they're basically writing off like the level modulation effects, is what I'm seeing.
Yeah, you're forgetting the most important one though, which is Gimmick Puppet. So Gimmick Puppet's got a bunch of new support, and it focused entirely on burn effects and special summoning from the graveyard, because they didn't give them a negate or any sort of disruption. It's all focused on like puppet locking on your turn for your opponent. And the problem with that is that they just have so much burn that it led to very consistent FTK decks. So they had to.
No, yeah, dude. If they got negates, it would be over. It'd be actually ridiculous.
I mean, then they could play the game, right? But now they're just like FTK or do nothing. And then they had to ban. They had to put a limit on a card that's been in the game for like 13 years. Just because now the new cards let you FTK with it.
I do want to argue that, like, are they really playing the game though? It's not really back and forth. They're playing solitaire at this point, which is unfortunately what
something different.
Isn't that what modern Yu-Gi-Oh is though?
Yeah, I was gonna say, which is unfortunately what modern Yu-Gi-Oh has become. And I can't really say anything because I'm a board breaker deck and I just go for the LTK.
yeah. I was gonna say, is someone maybe failing to mention the fact that they can remove the entire board without starting a chain? Because that's what you do.
No, that's false. Technically, I have to activate Clockwork Knight, and then I have to summon the Cyber Dragon.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
you're forgetting the two points where they can disrupt me.
All right.
You know?
So you two have been out of the loop on Duel Links for a minute, so I want to let you guys know that Fallen of Albaz has been added to Duel Links.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. It's pretty wild the direction we're going in Duel Links.
So Fallen of Albaz has been added, and it is not limited to 3, which means that you can play both Fallen of Albaz and Fusion Deployment in the same deck. And just special summon Fallen of Albaz. It's basically like 4 copies of Super Poly.
So yeah. I did see that. I didn't make the connection to Fusion Deployment because I'm not the biggest branded fan, and I haven't really been focusing on the branded aspect of Duel Links. But we're definitely going to get more support for them, I feel like, just slowly rolling out, because the card pool and just regular Yu-Gi-Oh! Is really just dying out when it comes to adding new cards. So we're heading that direction, and that's just... people are really going to be upset when we get there.
Branded is probably one of the decks that feels the least fair to most people because it focuses so much on super polymerization.
Right.
And Duel Links has kind of been exposed to this with Heroes, but when we get Starving Venom Fusion Dragon in the game, I really feel like things are going to go in a completely different direction.
It'll be crazy.
Yeah, and Starving Venom Fusion Dragon should be next. They alluded to that in the last event. They released 2 Arc V characters at the same time. Yeah.
Let's go.
I mean, I'm excited to play Predaplants, to be honest. But Starving Venom Fusion Dragon is going to be a problem.
You know what's one thing I wouldn't be surprised if they do?
Yeah.
And that's release another Super Poly bundle and move it to Limit 2 just to promote the deck.
That would be insane. If Super Poly went to 2, oh my gosh.
They're going to change that quick.
I feel like they could actually do it at this point in the game.
Man, that would make Branded so good. 3 copies.
But do we really have a lot of branded cards? Like, we have Fallen of Albaz, we have the 1 Fusion.
But
We have Ecclesia.
You can use it to
But
make
remember,
Starving Venom.
the branded monsters, Despia and all that, they use generic materials.
Mhm.
So
Oh yeah, that's right.
Falling to
Amen.
Outback
Amen.
already super poly, and then you got 3 chances to summon that. Plus, if they add the branded spells that can special summon like branded in red,
Yep.
and then you got generic super poly. So that's like
And
crazy. Not to
Titaniclad, which
mention
we
the
have in
skill.
the game, Titaniclad lets you special summon Fallen of Albaz from your deck. So we only have
Yeah.
Titaniclad, but Titaniclad literally just lets you loop into Fallen of Albaz, rip another card off your opponent's field, make another Titaniclad. So like even with what we've
Yep.
already got, like the real reason that people haven't started playing this deck too much is because you have to run through the box 3 times. A lot of people haven't done that yet, but it's going to be so much
Exactly.
fun.
Exactly. What better way to promote the new deck than to have another Super Poly and Starving Venom
Oh
together?
my gosh, it'd be crazy.
That it could be a double bundle. Starving. No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't put Starving Venom
They
in a
added
bundle.
Dogmatica Punishment too, which was really surprising.
Oh, that's what I wanted to ask. Has Nadir Servant been added?
Nadir Servant has not been added yet, but what they did, this box actually had more limits than any box I've ever seen in a while because they added Dimension Wall for some reason. Dimension Wall and Zero Gravity both got released at limit 1, and then they added Dogmatica Punishment at limit 3, and they added Book of Eclipse. Let's Go, by the way.
Dang.
Yeah, Book of Eclipse has an SR, and everyone's playing it at 3. Like it's in every deck right now.
It's the only way to
Yeah.
stop the birds. Like
It is
those
the
birds
only way
are
to stop the
so
birds.
oppressive right now. Literally.
Man, crazy. It's been a crazy meta
Thanks,
since this
man.
box came out.
Zero Gravity. Okay, I just had to look up the effect. That's an old school card. Change
It
the
is.
battle position.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know why. I
And
don't
it
know why
came
they
out
hate
with
Stall so
limit?
much.
It came out with a limit.
Yeah, it was released at limit 1.
You know, we might get Quaking Mirror Force. Like,
That would
I
be
think so.
cool. I admit, Quaking Mirror Force would be a lot of fun to see in this game.
because it's not like drowning where you need to attack directly, right?
Is it? Let me see. I know that drowning requires it. Hold on. No, it's only when your opponent's monster declares an attack.
And they're permanently face down.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's they might bring that in as a limit 3. It deserves a UR spot, but I would want it to be an SR.
It's pretty cool. All right, so okay, so that's the recent Duel Links news and some of the recent TCG news. Now let's move to the TCG news everyone is excited about. Sharp, tell us about these new Evil Hero cards.
Man, it's crazy, man. It is crazy. So, the new support, phenomenal, spectacular. I give Konami an 8 out of 10. So, it's Evil Hero support, and it just made the deck a million times more consistent. Although we do have to run a bigger deck size, that is totally fine, just because of how much consistency Heroes has. We got Stratos, we have Heroes Live, we have Vision Hero Ferris, we have Fusion Destiny, we got so many options.
Oh,
But
Fusion
the
Destiny got
Evil
put to
Hero-
2, by the way, in the OCG.
Yeah, and OCG.
Yeah.
Shout out to my OCG brothers. I hope they do well over there, because they'll be having Evil Hero support soon. And the trap card, oh my god, crazy! It's a negate. So we've always wanted a way to get out Contrast Hero Chaos,
Mhm.
who basically has the same effect. Target a card on the field, negate its effect like a quick effect. But we have that in a searchable trap now, which is fantastic. And so I've been playing with the deck around 53 cards because we had the new Molcharmi coming.
Mhm.
And man, it's amazing. It is amazing. You could do everything. OTK, control, floodgate. It's amazing. It's amazing. And we don't end on Nibiru anymore. So anybody with those memes, they can be silenced now. Only thing now we really have an issue with is probably the Molcharmies, but if you're on Ash, that's taken care of. And Dimension Shifter. That's it. Everything else, we pretty much go with.
Is there a way to make the new Evil Hero Neos Lord like on your opponent's turn? I guess not, right?
No, actually you can't. So
Oh,
you go
gotcha.
through your normal combo line
Mhm.
and banish Infernal Rider from the graveyard with 4 other heroes. And that lets you set Super Poly from the deck face down. Now, the added effect is you can
Oh, you
only
can
summon.
fusion summon monsters that must be special summon
Mhm.
with Dark Fusion with effects other than Dark Fusion. That's
Correct.
awesome.
Yes. So you go into Shiny Neo Swingman to pop, whatever, and if they still want to come after that, Super Pilot. So you Super Pilot, take their monster, and you have Neo Slow's effect on summon to
Yeah,
snatch a monster off the
right.
field.
Yeah, to brain control. Oh my god, that's so cool. I'm so glad that they made a Dark Neos. You know how long I've been waiting for an evil hero Neos? Man, this is great.
Yeah, yeah, it's awesome, bro. I love it. I love it. And then he can't be destroyed by battle. So like one game I played, I absolutely bricked. But the evil hero engine is so fire that you can still end on Neo Slord plus Dark Supremacy with 2 negates.
Mhm.
And I just ended on that, and I was good. Recovered on next turn, and then won with OTK. It was crazy. I love it.
Oh wait, oh Toxic Bubble is like Bubble Man, but its requirement is if you have an evil hero out, you get to draw 2. Oh man, that's
Hmm.
funny.
And you can special summon it. You don't need a monster that needed to be used Dark Fusion to summon it. You can just special summon it.
Mm.
So it's free link material also, if you want to use it for that.
Yeah, but a hero locks you. Oh, well, I mean, I guess Ferris hero locks you pretty early.
Ferris, Cross Crusader,
Yeah,
all that.
this is great. I'm looking forward to this. It's funny. It's funny how Kevin is quiet, but I can talk. I know both of your decks so well that I can just talk like I play them both. Because I do. I play everything.
You
I
play
think
too much.
Kevin's just salty that he didn't get any TCG support.
No,
It's
man,
okay.
listen, because the longer we wait for support, the better the support's gonna be. So you better be tuckering that asshole, bro. Because
All right, all
once
right.
the Cyber Dragons be coming, bro.
All right. Hold on. So Kevin,
Yeah.
Kevin in the OCG, they did put Raigeki and Lightning Storm to 3 each for some reason.
Oh, I don't give no fucks about no OCG, bro. You think I can play in the tournaments, man?
Yeah,
Well, I
learn
mean that's
Japanese,
going to
man.
affect Master Duel eventually.
I told you Kevin was salty. Listen to him. You can hear it all in his voice.
I can
You
hear
can hear
the
it in his
salt.
voice.
All right. Okay, so
You know what? I am salty, but not because I ain't getting no support. Not because heroes keep getting support, but this damn figure I bought came broken.
Mm.
That's a discussion from before the stream started. Yeah, Kevin had a poor eBay experience, so he's dealing with that right now. All right, main topic of the day, of course, Max C put to 2 finally, an indication of great things to come. Gentlemen, what are your thoughts?
It did nothing. Like I'm so serious. Max C is one of those cards that has to be at 0 or at 3. Because now that it's at 2, it's even sackier.
That is what Gold said as well. But here's the thing, right? It is gonna be at 0 at some point.
Yeah, I think
Eventually.
it's what's to come because that's how it happened in TCG. They started limiting it slowly and then eventually got banned.
Mhm.
So I think the same thing is going to happen. But then again, it's like, okay, Maxi's gone, but now we have 2 Multi cards
Mhm.
and you can resolve 2 of the same card. So it's like, all right, boom. You have Multi Full Ross. You play that against somebody like me who plays a lot of cards out of the deck and the extra deck. You're drawing 2 every time I do one of those things. That's wild to me. I think this might actually be worse than Maxi.
Not really, because I mean, yes, you do get a lot of draw, but at the same time, you have to put all the cards back at the end of the turn.
I mean, depending on the deck. So it's like what's that link monster? Crystal Bishu, Saryuja. I mean, you draw 4 and then put 3 back, but the fact that you get to go so much into your deck, you have far better option. You're like creating a custom hand if your opponent tries
No,
to
no,
take
no,
that
no, no,
challenge.
no.
No,
That's
yeah,
what
yeah, exactly.
that's what it
I wanna
sounds
kind of.
like, but no, the Molcharmi putback is random.
How would you do that?
It's
I mean, you
written
could
on the
put them
card.
face
It's
down,
random.
roll the dice. That's fine. That's fine. But still, just the ability to like reshuffle your hand like that is crazy. And that's +6 of whatever the opponent has. So like, if your opponent has 4 cards
Hmm.
on the field,
You do have 10
if
cards.
you
That
have
means that you
you,
have 5 more cards in your hand than you did. You're right.
but if you end on 9 is far better than starting with 5. Like, it's just crazy. I
Yeah.
think it's gonna
And
end up being
you can draw into your disruptions.
Well, you can, yeah,
yeah,
and that's
right.
the
More
idea.
than
I just don't think it's as good as Max C.
I think so.
I've seen Kevin start the
I
game,
think
start the turn with like
I think
22
it
cards in his
can be.
hand. That's different.
Let me rephrase that. I think it can be better than Maxi for the simple fact that you can resolve 2 of them
Mhm.
on the same turn. I think that's pretty wild.
You're running 6 maxis. Well, technically, right now you're running 8 in the OCG, but yeah, it's a debatable topic. It's very heated.
Yeah.
I tend to lean. I didn't know the putback was random. I was gonna lean with sharp because drawing that many cards and choosing your hand is essentially going through your entire deck and and picking your starting hand.
Mhm.
Which if I got to do that every duel, I would 100% be winning so many more duels. Because Cyber Dragons, you just need the perfect hand. You can break any board. It doesn't matter. And if it wasn't random and I could do that all the time, that's kind of unfair.
Mhm.
Now I this is another discussion, but I feel like the randomness, putting it back, might open more players to cheating, especially if you know how to shuffle your cards right. That's it. Like I
So,
said, it's a debatable topic.
so what I did when Crow and I played in remote duels, I chose the cards that got shuffled back.
Yeah. So you see, you get to pick your hand at that point.
No, 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 no. I was the player, and I was the opponent.
Oh, you chose what
Yeah,
he
so
shuffled
so
back.
so Crow basically held his hand up, and I pointed to the cards that I wanted him to shuffle back.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I think if they
Interesting.
do it that way, that's probably fair. But I mean, most people play over an emulator these days anyway. It's not like a lot of people are playing in person.
Yeah, I stopped going to locals after my last experience. It wasn't good.
Oof. I'm trying to go back, but my local shop isn't holding any other like they haven't held any just standard games like they did Edison a couple weeks ago, and this weekend they're doing like info. I want to play. I want to play. Just play. They're not holding any events for it, so that's kind of frustrating. All right. Okay. All right. Is there any guild news that we need to go over?
From the top of my head, no. I do know that we did open up recently the decklist forum. Is that what you would call it, like a forum?
Sharp. I think there's a lot of feedback on your mic right now.
No, that's Kevin.
Oh, Kevin? All right. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So,
So we have a new decklist form.
yeah. Yeah,
Backed by
so
popular
we
demand.
brought that back by popular demand, yeah, so that people can actually start posting their lists again. That was one of the controversial things that we took away a while ago while we were trying to clean things up. So now, enjoy posting all of your lists. Gurus are going to be uploading their lists as well. So you'll see some more new hero ideas from Sharp himself as he continues to cook. Sharp, of course, getting Master 4, I want to say?
So I finished. No, Master 3. It was Master 3.
Master 3, yeah. Congratulations. Well done.
Thank you. It helped a lot for the Duelist Cup. I got to start halfway ahead of the pack, so that was pretty great. And I got dual level max with heroes.
Yes. Wait. Yeah, no, I can't stand grinding in Master Duel. Like I'll get to Diamond and I'll just stop because it's just not worth it.
Yeah.
Although I was trying to grind in Duel Links the other day, and it's just as bad at this point. Like the main problem is just how long the turns take.
On Duel Links?
Well, in
That's
general. It wasn't as bad in Duel Links as it was in Master Duel before, but now it kind of feels like they're the same.
Yeah, and see, that's what I think is it feels like Duel Links is transforming into like a mini Master Duel. You get what I'm saying?
Mm.
In the sense with how much you can do, how many cards they brought from the actual game that are pretty like busted, pretty broken. So I don't know. It's not the Duel Links of old, of
Unfortunately
course.
not.
Yeah, but that's the way it's going. Which I feel like that's why they added Rush Duel to add a more simple game state for people to enjoy.
Yeah. I think that's
So
been going pretty well for them.
yeah, I like Rush Duel. I like Rush Duel a lot. I think it's a pretty good format. I would actually even play it if they imported the stuff in English, like to have real life cards.
Mm-hmm.
Because I actually like Rush Duel. It's pretty unique. That's what I like about it. It's a good change of pace.
All right. Well, cool. Okay. Well, I think this was a productive discussion, gentlemen. Thank you both for your time.
Definitely. Thank you. Thank you for having us. I appreciate it. I'll be sure to cook with some more hero stuff. That way I can rub it in Kevin's face and he can keep being jealous that Hero's got more support.
I want you all to remember what he's saying so that when we get support and I start cooking.
I mean, I just got an Omni, a soft once per turn Omni. So I don't know what you guys are talking about. Speed Roy's gonna be on top moving forward.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Hey, all I know is you're a bunch of machines.
No, they're dragons when they're finished.
You're absolutely right.
All right.
They should have been the scenes.
And now that I have more Omnis, I can finally deal with that Clockwork Knight. Anyway.
Hey.
All right. So thank you all so much for coming out. The Kevin Probably channel is going to be in the description. Maybe he'll upload a video in 6 months. We'll see. And then there's also Mr. Sharp YGO. Just put out some new hero content. I did feature it on my channel before. He has put out more, combo guides, other things in Edo Pro. Very informative videos. So I definitely encourage you to subscribe to them both. And you can join the Guild of Gurus Discord. The link to the Discord will be in the description. You can talk to me, you can talk to Kevin, you can talk to Sharp anytime you want. My name is Serafi, and I was thrilled to have all of you with me.